All right, hope I think it lost the connection. And I don't know why it did that. But hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, just sitting here drinking my morning coffee, looking sexy as hell as usual. I wake up with you lovely people, and hopefully this stays connected. It told me it disconnected. All my signals are strong, so I don't know what happened there. But hopefully we get people in here and this gets resolved. Hopefully it gets resolved. I gotta shave my head today. I gotta shave my head later today. That's got to be sorted too. But yeah, hit the like as soon as you guys get in here. And yeah, all right. I'm gonna have to wait a few minutes to get this stream up and going. They tend to get started pretty slow, But what do you do? Um, all right. Um, but yeah, no one in here yet. Few people watching. Few people watching. All right. So I guess it'll be a few minutes. Like I said, these are hit or miss. We get a lot of people in eventually. Sometimes we gotta wait. We gotta wait a bit for it, right? Gotta wait a bit for it. And I feel scruffy this morning. This looks way longer in here than it did in the mirror this morning. It's just the lighting. For those who chime in, I don't talk a lot till we get people in. I work on other projects and I post stuff on social media until people get in and regulars get in and we have real conversations going. So I do this to wake up, but it gives me a chance to talk to my audience. It gets followers, you know, occasional donation, you know, occasional donation. And yeah, anybody in yet? But yeah, so I'll wait for everyone to come in before we do a lot of talking. I just let it float. Kind of curious to see how it'll go with less informative videos for a bit. Though. I feel like that kicks up my live stream outreach and the lives. Let's be fair. At the end of the day, man, the lives they make more money and they get more clients. You know, and I have endless amounts of informative content. So anytime anyone wants that, I could literally never put up another informative video and you guys would have the most comprehensive fitness library in existence in terms of videos. I mean, I have a lot of videos, guys. We got a lot of videos. I've lost count of how many I have. Like, I have something like 16,000 informative videos though. Not live streams, not blogs. All right. All right. Well, at least we got a like, so it should pick up soon. There we go. Once those come in, then we know the regulars start seeing it. Unfortunately, because the first one crashed and I had to delete it, it may have taken a slot for putting stuff out into people's algorithm, unfortunately. So hopefully we're still good there. All right. Hopefully we're still good. Guess we will find out. All right. Coach, what's the plan for the day? It's a training day. I'm supposed to have a consultation, maybe. I get frustrated. I have one guy, I've done quite a few consultations with him. I mean, I'd probably do a consultation with him every 2 months, right? And he sometimes tips extras for messing with my, like I've had him give me extra money for messing my schedule up with cancellations. So he does this stuff of he'll check in once a day and be like, "Hey, can I get in for the consultation tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can probably work you in tonight, but I need you to let me know what time slot you need so that I can be ready and set my schedule aside for it." And then he'll see it and not answer. And then so he saw that yesterday, didn't answer. So then he won't check it again until later and go, "Oh, I got tied up. Can we do one tomorrow?" And so he tends to do stuff like that. It's just kind of funny. It's just in Messenger. But I mean, he's already paid for it. It's just getting him scheduled is a nightmare. But I've done a few with him already. Yeah, I mean, it's just normal. Never know. People are weird with scheduling on that. The main thing, though, that I have told people, don't schedule one with me and not show up, though. I don't refund money for anything. So it's like, unless you have a really good emergency, like if I set my time aside, like this guy likes nighttime consultations. Like if I adjust my sleep schedule and then you have to change the schedule, you know what I mean? Like you've already paid for that slot. I'll give you the consultation later. If I've had to adjust my life for it, that's the difference. Unless you have a really good excuse, a real emergency, like emergencies really happen. It's like they picked that slot. I have a question about rest times. Is this specific for strength gains over hypertrophy? Do rest times matter? How do I put this? This is an extremely nuanced question, Dad. So do you want an evidence-based, like what have scientific studies shown? Is this what we're looking for? This has been a heavily studied topic with meta-analysis on it, specifically to hypertrophy, right? Specifically to hypertrophy. If your rest times are shorter, you have to, if you go off the data, the amount of reps matters. So in other words, we know based on studies that longer rest times, like 3 minutes, produce more muscle growth because they let you replicate performance. That if you lose performance set to shorter rest times, at least in studies that looked at it, you don't gain as much muscle. In fact, it's almost like the first set's the only one that causes real muscle growth. All right. But I saw Minnow post up one, I think a day or two ago. I saw Minnow post some research on that, pointing out that shorter rest times seem to produce equal hypertrophy if you match the reps. So in other words, let's say you're doing 100 kilogram on an exercise, and normally you can do 10 reps fresh. Okay. And let's say normally if you rest 3 or 4 minutes, you can do 3 sets of 10. And then you fail on like rep 11 or whatever on the third set. That what they found is that as long as the reps match, you can do shorter rest times and it seems to cause the same growth. So in other words, if your rest times are only a minute and a half and you only get 5 or 6 reps and you get stapled, but you go ahead and you do like 5 sets or six, same 30 reps, it seems to cause the same muscle growth if you do it with the same weight. So in other words, and I saw James Krager do a meta-analysis on that a number of years back. Keep in mind, I'm not sold on exercise science as a science. It's pretty horrifically bad in terms of data collection, sampling. Like it's always not a real science. But I did see him do one showing that if rest times are shorter, you need more total sets, right? For equal amounts of hypertrophy. But if you bridge with the sets or more total volume, you'll end up with similar hypertrophies. But keep in mind, you're just doing way more work at that point. I would lean in the direction of just longer rest times to keep your volumes more moderated. You'll say, what about conditioning? We'll go run. Go push a sled. This is what I do for conditioning. I get out and go run. Your weight room shouldn't really be your cardio. Right? We have features we can run. Can you dig it? All right. Now, in my experience, long rest times move heavy ass weight for a lot of reps. Let's set science aside and let's go over to my observations. Do a fairly significant amount of reps with a heavy weight. Take long rest times to get there. Right. I'm usually up a lot of times by 4 a.m. It's not uncommon. I'm a morning person. And I fast in the mornings too. So strong B, I'm up. What's up, BJ? And what's up, Psych? No, I'm a morning person, and I go to bed early. I was in bed. I was asleep by 8 o'clock last night, 7:30 maybe. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I would argue that staying up late is horrible for your circadian rhythm, your hormones, everything. You need to be up till midnight, you know. Unless it's sexy time with your woman, that's an allowable exception. All right, but I appreciate the answer. I've cut out conditioning for the moment in order to focus on getting strong. Yeah, I don't think you should cut all your conditioning out. Yeah, I think we should be doing some conditioning year round. Says me. You know, not saying you got to do what I do, but do something. I have to remind people. I have coaches who remind me of that. Like, dude, make sure that you make that clear to people. That scares clients. I get clients who used to watch some of my vlogs and they didn't want. They're like, "Oh, please don't make me do that." I'm like, "Well, what are you crying about, man?" Like when I would squat 270 kg for a single and then you go 50% and do sets of 20 is back off work. They'd be like, "Yeah, please don't make me do that. Like it's good for you." I won't be squatting 270 yet. I'm not going to go up to that type of body weight. At my age, I feel like it would be deadly. I can't be walking around at 110 kg. We can't be doing that. CJ. All right. Hello, I'm very weak though. I think Psych can bench more than me at the moment. Yeah, I don't admit that, dude. By the way, if you guys are looking for women who lift, the whole muscle mommy thing has to die online. Like, I know a lot of women who lift. Keeping in mind, I tend to date only women who lift. With some exceptions. When dudes pull the whole oh, you're stronger than me, you could hurt me. It is a complete turn off to the women who lift. Like they talk about this, like, wow, just it completely turns them off. Like they have no sexual attraction to a dude the moment he says something like that. Like you just turned it off. At least 9 out of 10 women who lift. Like, do not tell them they're stronger than you. Like, don't do it. Dad, if you're in your PFP, then you look. I don't think that's Dad in his profile pic. What does he got for the profile pic? Yeah, I don't think that's him. I think that's from a movie or something. That could be from a movie. Right. Right. I bet you Sight can't bench more than me. Right. Coach, could you hit a 600 plus deadlift again in a lower body weight? That's a good question, Peppermint. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, the best I pulled this year was 585, though. I mean, so 6 plates. For me to get 600 again, I got to have bigger hamstrings. Hamstrings will tend to limit me on that. I mean, maybe it would take some work. It would take some work. That would be pretty cool, though. You don't do a triple body weight deadlift. Because even when I pulled 635, I was weighing like 235, 240 almost. So we're not triple body weight deadlift. That'd be a good goal. Yeah. A lot. But I mean, yeah. I mean, even then, like when I did that charity event though, I was just pretty much just bodybuilding almost really for my deadlift stuff. So I did that charity event and I pulled 625 and then missed 635. I didn't do any super heavy pulling going into it. Like I think the heaviest deadlift I did going into that event, because I didn't peak for it, I just walked in and did it without telling anybody. I was like 570. So I didn't even pull 6 plates for any singles. Everything was a hair under 6 plates. They weighed us there. But I didn't do a water cut. So at that event, I weighed on their scale at 228 because they weighed us for comparisons. Hold on, I can find it. If you guys want to see the event, for those who don't know what we're talking about. So I did a Halloween costume party and breast cancer charity event. So it was a deadlift contest and costume party. Now the helmet back there, I got there, but I didn't want it. Yeah. So there's all the pulls going up there. Morning, Coach. What's up, Adrian? Yeah, tell them over to hit that like button, guys. Why do we only have 3 likes in here? Hit those likes up. Thoughts on strength training and martial arts training with multiple sclerosis, having foot spasticity as a main symptom, but managing it. If you're capable, not everyone was dressed up, PJ. A lot of people were, but not everybody. A lot of people took their costumes off to go deadlift, and like a whole team of girls showed up wearing the matching outfits, including, gosh, what's her name? She's crazy strong. She's on my friends list. Can't remember Veronica. She's got like world records. She pulled 430. She walked in there with abs and pulled 430 between babies, like, she was between having kids. It's ridiculously strong. But as far as your multiple sclerosis, if you're capable of lifting and doing the martial arts, you should do as much of it as you can. Keeping in mind when you're dealing with multiple sclerosis, you are dealing usually with an issue with the sheaths around your nerves. So part of that lipid layer around the nerve has been damaged and degrading. So they're not always going to fire correctly. So the issue is it's not a muscular disease, it's a nervous system disease, of your actual nerves. So the problem is can you physically do it or not? But if you're physically able to do it, you should do as much of it as you possibly can. So, as long as your doctors are on board, right? And obviously manage all the treatment that you have to do. Just watched it. 625 is a great live. You good? Thanks, Dad. So yeah, that was it was a breast cancer charity. I gave money to it also. So and then they raised money. So essentially, it was one of the local guys, he's a serious power lifter. He and his wife, who also is a power lifter, was going through breast cancer, and they expended all their savings and were pretty much out of money treating her breast cancer. So this lifting charity event was hosted to help raise money for their medical bills. That's the downside with the American system. We do have the best medical care in the world, but it can get expensive. Was 625 in kg? Let me check. 2.2. It's 283.4. Yeah. I didn't peak for that event though. I just walked in and pulled. Like I built that mostly off glute ham raises and reverse hypers. I need to up the weight on the reverse hyper. There's a point where, people will criticize what I do, but I'm like, when I do these things, I get really strong. Like you swing too much on the reverse hyper when you load, when I put 600 pounds on it. Like, but does it matter if it makes my deadlift go up? Why do you guys care? Why do you care that I swing on the reverse hyper a lot when I put 600 or 700 pounds on it? If my deadlift goes up. Good morning, Coach. What's up, Thomas? Coach does things that others don't, but we see the results. Right. I mean, I'll do things like that, and then it's like, but I'm stronger than you, and it works, and it's a supplemental lift. And my low back never hurts when I get really strong at the reverse hyper. That's another reason I need to up it. When I'm doing the rep work on squats, I'm getting low back cramps from my high bar squats, not from my deadlifts. So I know that I need to push the reverse hyper back up. So those rep work I'm doing with 4 plates on the squats, dude, they're killing my low back. And it's not damage to the disc. It is my erectors cramp, right? They cramp up like near my kidney. I feel like someone shanked me in the kidney, and it's just on one side. And sometimes it's interfering with my deadlifts after. I need to push the reverse hypers back up. I need to put some real weight on that thing and go hard in the paint. All my back training, no one ever likes any of my back training. The way I row will never build lats. And I'm like, but I got bigger lats than you. And you're on a lot of, I'll see dudes who are on pretty significant amounts of gear, have smaller lats than me, and tell me I'm rowing wrong. And I'm like, bro, maybe you need to row like I row. Just saying. And it would be different if they actually had biomechanics or something to go with it. I've never understood this idea of squeezing your lats on any sort of back exercise. Just an anecdotal observation. Does anybody who does that ever actually have a back? Or do they have tiny ass old girl backs? I see a massive correlation between having, this my observation, 25 years of observation. There's an enormous correlation between focusing on squeezing your back and having no lats. That is my observation. People who focus on that never have back. They never have a back. And I'm not telling you to cheat. I do fairly strict rows. When I cheat row, I load up heavy and put straps on, but I don't do it that often. I row pretty strict, but I row to my chest. I don't swing it to my hips. I row the bar to my chest. I row the dumbbell to my chest if I do dumbbell rows. All the way. So if you're going to do a dumbbell row, people do that too. They're like, you're not working your back. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm doing full range of motion. You stretch all the way down at the bottom and you bring it up to your chest. Like you should touch up here. And I do that with, like 60 kg on a dumbbell sometimes. Like, what's the problem? Everyone wants to swing these things to their hip. And it's like, you don't have a back. Like, can you guys not feel it? Can you not just feel the difference? And that's what gets me. It's like, just do it. Like, and then tell me you don't feel more of your total back working. So let's set aside, your nonsense. And just do it and tell me that you don't. Like, how could you guys even do the other type and think that it's working? That's what shocks me. The same thing with the way I'll do pull-ups sometimes. People don't like it. I'm like, but my lats cramp. And my back is twice the size as yours. So, what are we talking about? Like, you can not like the way I do pull-ups, but if my lats actually cramp on every set and they need like a minute just to stop spasming, I think I'm hitting my lats pretty hard. Just saying. Right? And I get it. If your goal is to perform a pull-up contest with body weight pull-ups, not weighted ones, and your goal is to get your nipples all the way to the bar, hey, great. But don't tell me that it's working your lats more. There's no lat involvement at that point. That talk part they're doing where they swing up over the bar to get there, like a muscle up, you're not using your lats for that. I mean, basic biomechanics here, So usually if I'm doing lats, if I want to grow my lats from pull-ups, I simply work the lat through its entire range of motion and I don't go any further. As soon as the scapula touch together, we're done. That's the end of the rep. I like to do pull-ups sometimes with a closer grip and go chin over the bar, but I don't feel it in my back. That feels like it's a bicep exercise at that point. So if I do that, I don't feel my lats at all. They feel like I might as well have just done a curl. I don't feel any back involved. Like I literally feels like my lats aren't even doing anything at that point. All right. But my biceps get a crazy pump. So, So it's strange to me that people can't, just feel these things, like lack of body awareness. Yeah. But I've never understood the little hip swing people do and call it a row, whether it's a barbell or a dumbbell. They'll just like swing it to their hip. Like, no, dude, you need to row. So what I mean, I'll show you what I mean. And I don't understand why people think it's going to build a big back, and then they wonder why I have a big back and they don't. They'll do this thing. Like, what is that? Like a row should be all the way down to here, right? And I'll do that with a 60 kilo press dumbbell. So, and it's just shocking to me that people will do the hip swing and actually, like, do you even feel your lats or any of that? It's crazy. Hey, Bill, I'm not an expert. I really am not going to be able to make a video. I'll read your comment out. I would love to see a video of you talking about MS and the benefits it provides to people with neurodegenerative diseases, longtime subscribers since Ice Cream Fitness days. Um, the issue, though, I don't know what it does for the multiple sclerosis. I mean, the benefits of lifting is going to be the same as for everyone else. So, and I don't know that the lifting itself is going to do anything about um, the multiple sclerosis itself, but it'll help you maintain muscle. It'll help you maintain strength. But I'm not up. I'm honestly not up to speed on the current research on MS. I know just a little bit about it. Um, I had to be tested for it at one time where my Meniere's disease got really bad. I didn't like what the ENT said, so he outsourced me to a neurologist. Um, and the neurologist says, I'm 90% sure that your ENT is right, that you do have bilateral Meniere's disease, but has a 10% chance on these symptoms that it could be masking multiple sclerosis. So he's like, my insurance covered it. And he's like, so I'm going to send you out for a spinal tap. And if the spinal tap comes back clear, it'll tell us if you have multiple sclerosis or not. Right. Hey, Dad, don't troll people and all stuff like that. Come on, bro. Dad, take it down a notch. Yeah, this is not a case where trolling is appropriate. I know you'd like to troll. This case is not appropriate. All right. So I went and got the spinal tap, and it came back negative for the MS. So I had a second opinion on the Meniere's disease at that point. But yeah. Anyone who's had a spinal tap, by the way, not fun. I'm going to assume since you have MS that they gave you a spinal tap testing for some of it. So you know what I'm talking about. Right. Yeah, he admits when he crosses the line, he doesn't go with crazy stuff. That's a different type of trolling. He's not a crazy stalker troll. Yeah, man, spinal tap is it's definitely what I would describe as not fun. You know, it's definitely not fun. Man. Although the doctor performing it was very, very calm and chill. Because I definitely made some sound, and he was like very calming. He's like, I know. He goes, I know it hurts a lot, but it's just please try to stay still, and this won't last long. It's like oh damn, like needle go in. It's like oh shit, like you're thinking, oh, I'm not really gonna feel it. They numbed everything. It's like yeah, you feel it. There is a needle in my spine, taking out 10 cc's of fluid, 10 milliliters of fluid. You know, that's a different thing right there. All right, you're welcome, Bill. I'm gonna go get some more coffee. Yep. All right. So we're back in. We are back in. What's going on, guys? Likes up, views are up. Luxford, the preacher's in here. He's a funny troll. He is a funny troll. Oh, man. Hold on. We're getting some. Instagram messages. A second here, guys. I got to do another post. Got to put up Halloween memes to the groups. The Halloween memes from me last year. Halloween memes. It's not resetting my button for the profile. What's up with that? It should have already reset it. I got the last one. Good morning, Jason. What's up, Ryan? How you doing, bros? We good? You got a compliment on your bench press in the short yesterday. So that was a perfect rep. Morning, coach. What's more going on, Raymond? Everybody's drinking their coffee. Everyone sit down, have a cup, drink coffee with the coach. Of course, a lot of these guys aren't in the U.S. It's not morning like it is for us. All right, what else we got? We talked about lifting and multiple sclerosis. We talked about spinal taps. We talked about row form. What else we got? Hey, coach, can I arrange a video consultation? Yeah, just you have to message me on Facebook. Yeah. Yep. I'll send you details. There we go. Cool, man. I can work you in this week. All right. Good stuff. I may or may not have one today. It's one that we were joking about that. I have a guy who I do quite a few consultations with. He always reschedules and never locks it in. And he's like, hey, you got any slots tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, let me know tonight what time slot you want so I can be ready for it. And he didn't message back that he's done this like 3 days in a row. He's already paid for it. So he pays up front and then takes forever to schedule them. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I've done like 5 of these with him already. But one of them, though, he paid me extra because he rescheduled on me and he felt bad about it. Is creatine really a myostatin inhibitor? I don't know. Probably not. Does it matter? So is there any practical benefit to you thinking about myostatin inhibition? And I would never want a drug that does it. I mean, do you really want the side effects? So look at the quality of life of people who actually have a myostatin deficiency. Like, it's a horrible disease. You know, it's extremely painful. But this is the stupidity of the bodybuilding world. This is why bodybuilding just needs to die. It needs to go away, quite frankly. Like, the whole fitness world would be better if bodybuilding just disappeared. It's all these guys, they come up with crazy stuff. I wonder if we can find a drug to inhibit myostatin. I'm like, do you not understand how horrific that would be? Like, again, absurdity. So people worry about all these pathways, and it's like, you know, he thinks myostatin inhibition is important. So here's the thing: we get over into all this biohacking stuff, and people want to talk about individual pathways. Do we not know how to get big already? No, seriously, do we not know how to get big already? Do we really need to try to delve into strange biohacks and mess with whole new pathways in the body? Like, is Nick Walker not big enough? So we need to need a whole tier bigger than that. You know, look, train correctly, eat correctly. If you want to get bigger than that, we have the androgen receptor. If that's not big enough, we have growth hormone. If that's not big enough, you add insulin. No, I didn't. I didn't see Mike's video. But even for me, I'm at a point I don't need any of that because I'm not trying to get that big. You know, I'm not trying to be at that size. No, what's his stack look like? I haven't seen it at all. I mean, we already know based on what we see, he abuses insulin big time. He has to. So, no, I haven't seen it. Let me see if I can find anything real quick. Folders. I can't find any list of his stack anywhere. It's just a quick Google search. So can you give me a ballpark idea? All right, team, we got to go to sleep. Have a great day. All right, good night, Dad. Large women says the steroids make him dumb, so he uses Russian brain drugs to increase cognitive function. Oh, wow. Alrighty, that's quite strange. I thought he broke down his actual steroid stat. Well, I think the insulin itself could be a problem. Again, we know that based upon his look, he uses a lot of insulin. It's very clear. There's a lot of growth insulin stacked together. That insulin is going to be a problem for his brain, right? But as far that's lack of neuroprotectiveness is a problem. Dudes crash their E2. That could absolutely be a cognition problem, right? But we see guys do that. They get so obsessed that estrogen is the enemy and they'll crash their estrogen while using strong androgens and have all sorts of problems. Guys have these strange ideas. They're like, well, I need to be super dry and shredded, so I need to tank my estrogen down. And it's like the physical health and mental side effects of this are profound. Injury rate goes up, dick goes down. Atherosclerosis accelerates, right? Brittle tendons and impotence. The price of being shredded, bros. It's like, all right, man, you're dry and shredded. Hey, great. You're a sick shredded cunt, bro. But you can't get an erection and your tendons are brittle. Right? But they're shredded, bro. They're shredded to the bone. Oh. I don't get this. All right, so you rip your bicep off the bone doing preacher curls, and your dick doesn't work, but you're shredded. Okay, great. You sure don't look good for the girls at the beach. Okay, you're gonna get you a popsicle stick and some rubber bands so that you can prop it up. You know, I had a guy who did that. He crashed his estrogen. He's like, it's pretty bad. He got embarrassed. He's like, I do his gear consultation. He doesn't always listen to me. He hires me for his gear coaching. And yeah, and I tell him, you got to quit doing the stuff that I tell you not to do. And he's like, dude, I picked up this really hot Puerto Rican girl and I couldn't get a hard on. She tried for an hour and couldn't get me up. It's like, I was so embarrassed. Like, well, maybe you should listen to coach in the future. You wouldn't have these problems. Ryan, did you see the video of the guy? No, I didn't. Music. You may want to be specific. I mean, I'm assuming it's not trending because it isn't in my feed. My dad bod gets complimented all the time in real life. I'm nowhere near shredded, right? I mean, I get a lot of compliments. Right? People don't know that I'm not shredded. This is what the lifting world doesn't get. Okay. Lifters would look at me and be like, you're fat, you're gross. In real life, people are oblivious to the fact that I'm not shredded. Off the internet, no one has a clue that I'm not shredded. So, it's crazy. It's like, I literally have been at a grocery store, like in the line, and a dude walked by, dude, you're ripped, bro. And it's like, what? Okay. Like, okay, then. And don't tell that to the internet. Funny. Yeah, Ryan, I can see that. I mean, again, it's the fitness world online has these strange ideas. Big. I'm like, I've been told I'm too big. That's actually the biggest negative I ever get is that I'm a little too big. I have too much muscle. Like that's the only negative comment I've ever gotten about my body from women. Literally the only negative criticism is that I have a little too much muscle. The internet versus the real world are very strange. Same as you coach. Yeah. Well, but I think too the internet's proportions because look how many bodybuilders are short, so they look really stacked on camera, and they're not as impressive when you meet them in real life. They're just not. It's just because you're not expecting that, right? You see the big bodybuilder, you see him on camera, you're expecting them to be at least average height. And so then it takes you back when you meet them in person. You're like, wow, they're not as big as I thought they would be. So it's yeah, it's very strange. Mm. Right. Very, very strange. Chris, if we're walking into a room, you go directly center, none of the dodging, sneaking, and what? Shoulders back, walk center. Yeah, why wouldn't you? What do you mean stand in the center? You have to do that. I don't think you have to go in and just stand there. What do you mean don't sit down? Man, I like to go sit down. What are you talking about? You don't have to have rules like that. I want to sit down. I'm going to sit down. Oh, coach gets tired. What time is it there? Well, you should probably ask me where I live because Texas is a pretty big place. It's 5:52 in the morning where I'm at, but in another part of Texas, it's 6:52. Keep in mind, man, it's 1,000 miles across. Pretty big place. I saw miles and miles of Texas, right? Just like the famous song. You'd be like, that's not a famous song outside of Texas, then it doesn't matter. Those other places don't matter, guys. Yep. No, I'm not up earlier. I don't think we had a clock go back. None of my stuff went back. My stuff all goes auto. It says it's 5 in the morning, 5:53. Right? Mine did. Yeah. Suppose these things happen. Already in this morning, people already hating my chin up and pull ups. They don't like my reps. I'm going to reply back. Your mom almost got a rep. All right. Let's go back. Do they go back next week? I hate time. We need to get rid of this stupidity. This time change thing is moronic. Why are we still doing this? Somebody explain this to me. This person wrote, almost got 1 rep, keep it up. And they did a little exclamation mark. Talking about my weighted chins, right? And I'm like, your mom almost got a rep. Yeah, I've never understood the whole thing with the time change. Right? For me, we should always be on GMV, right? I don't get it, man. Why? Yeah, I don't know. I forgot why the whole explanation for it was, but it's. I've heard it even said that it causes less accidents in some cases or more accidents based upon driving conditions and light. And it's just like, guys, this is so absurd. Just leave it alone. Like we don't need this. This messes with people's schedules, their everything, you know. It changes people's sleep schedules by an hour. Like, I don't know why we still do it. Actually, I saw Trump propose that he wants to outlaw it. So, again, absurdity. I had to laugh at that. I told someone who doesn't like Trump, we were chatting, and I'm like, look, dude, put it this way. And that's fine. You can not like him. I don't think he's perfect. He has a lot of problems. But I'm like, if he does the stuff he said he might do with the IRS, I'll be the first one to defend him. Meaning point, it would be worth it to throw out the current system. Like, and I brought this up. Like that would be enough for me to take a president and to literally be armed to prevent their removal. Like I would literally join the fight. Any president who abolished the IRS or said what Trump would do to anyone making under 150,000 a year, which would mean 300,000 for married couples, pays no taxes. Dude, they can stay forever. As far as I'm concerned, I want them president for 20 years. The term limit, which should go away. I would defend it. Purely off that alone. Like that would be enough to change my life enough. That would be the most positive thing any political leader has ever done in history for me. Like, it's like, yeah, dude, at that point, get rid of it. Hey, music, I don't know what video. No one has seen it but you. It's not trending anywhere. So I haven't seen it, bro. Talking about the arm break. It's not in my feed anywhere. I don't know where you saw it. I mean, to break your arm lifting something has to go pretty wrong. You know, links are blocked. You'll have to send it to me on social media. No links are allowed on my channel. Yeah. He's saying something. Yeah, he didn't even say what he said. A video about a guy breaking his arm lifting. Oh, okay. That's got to be quite an unusual occurrence. I mean, we've definitely seen some dislocations on a squat. Remember when that trans athlete dislocated and popped their elbow out doing the snatch? Could be a result of their hormone therapy and all that stuff. That happened once. Right. Breaks arm lifting. Is there anything recent? The most recent thing I see was in January. Some guy broke their arm bench pressing. The only thing I see anywhere this year. Is that the one you're talking about back in January on the bench press? Yeah, I think he just made it up. There's literally nothing on Google. The most recent one was in January. Some Australian broke his arm on bench press. But then there's some guy talking about an incline. He gets it wrong. It's not even an arm break. It's a pec tear. Yep. I don't know. And the arm break one has been removed, so you can't even see it from January. So, no idea, man. Yeah, he might have made it up. Peppermint. Or it's something he saw from a million years ago. He's just now asking about. I don't know. There's been some squats apparently out there years ago. Apparently that's a thing. Apparently that is a thing. Yeah, you can break your arm squatting, but you have to not know how to place the bar. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It'd still be difficult to do. Or miss a re-rack on the side. Use safety arms too. Yeah, I could see it maybe on a re-rack. But it's most likely just going to knock backwards. Like, I don't know, man. People should have good bone density, though. Look, if you're training and your diet is, bone density should be through the roof. I mean, freak occurrence, but still be relatively rare. You know, body should be pretty resilient if you lift and eat correctly. You know, this is where drugs become a problem, though, right? Certain drug combinations, anything where people get their estrogen tanked. This is an example. So this is more likely to be a drug problem than anything, right? Using dumb drug stacks, dumb combinations, you know, because even some of the non-aromatizing stuff still increases bone density. Things like nandrolone, right? Dude, you blast a bunch of trend with aromatase inhibitors. It was overhead dumbbell press. Social media to me. Do you not have any social media? Because otherwise, I'm not going to be able to find it. I'll send it on Facebook. Let me check. No, you didn't. I don't have any messages on my fitness page on Facebook for the duration of this entire chat. Did you send it to my profile or my actual page that I have linked? Because my profile, everything goes to the spam folder. If you're not on my friends list, I'm not going to see it. And that's intentional. I don't want randoms having the ability to do that because all my messages pop up there so I can see everything from my clients and my family. Right. So I have everyone blocked who's not on my friends list. But if you send it to my fitness page, the one that's under every video, I will have seen it. And my spam folder gets 100, 200 a day, so I'll never see that either, probably. So even if I do go to the spam folder to look, it's going to be so buried from all the sex bots. Yeah. No, you didn't send it to either one. You didn't send it to my Facebook. You sent it to somebody else. You didn't send it to me. There you go. If you see anything without a check mark by it with my name, it is never, ever, ever me. I don't have any accounts. I don't wear without a check mark on any social media at this point. I have nothing without a check mark. So I don't have any sock accounts. I don't have any other things with my name. Nothing. It's all check mark. Other than my gun channel that I haven't logged into in over a year. That's the only one. So deadlift is the safest lift of the big three and the most demonized, right? That is funny, isn't it, Peppermint? Strange how that works. I don't get it either. So I guess he just left that alone. Right? I can't even envision a situation where someone breaks their arm on a dumbbell overhead press, though. Like an arm break, like not a tendon tear, actual arm break. You know, watch it be a tendon rupture and they did something crazy like clean up some insane weight and try to push press it with bad form. It'll be something stupid. You know. Yeah, what you gonna do though? Martin One Prog Pro. Hey Chris. So, so could you explain what that is? Martin who and what is the Prog Pro? Yeah, it's usually something stupid or ego lifting, trying to wonder at max a dumbbell. Yeah. Yeah, we see that on dumbbell presses, right? Dudes try to go super heavy on a dumbbell chest press and rip it. In YouTube, we've seen an influencer do it, haven't we? Lesson learned. Dumbbells are a finesse exercise. Don't try to dumbbell press heavy. I don't understand why people do that. Just use the barbell. Why? Why? Martian, I don't. Hey, Chris, what sport are we talking about? I have no idea who this is. Is this football? Is this powerlifting? What is this? Watch it be a bodybuilder. Like, how in the hell would I know anything about this? This isn't even a bodybuilding channel. I wouldn't actually know. Right? Like, I literally have no idea who this person is. Martin Fitzwater. Okay. Bodybuilding. Yeah, this is probably the wrong channel for that, Chris. Sorry, bro. Not really my cup of tea, man. Let me guess, it's a dude on tons of drugs who's going to die young, chasing a plastic trophy, going to die at 38 and not even make a lot of money doing it. The bodybuilding death cult. Let's see who we do this. Yeah, let's look him up. Yeah, dude's on plenty of drugs. He's gonna die young. I had to look him up. Complete with the oiled up delts. You expect no less. Yeah, dropping like flies. You know they really are. I tried to send the video. Did you send it on Facebook? Like you said? All right, music. I think you're just trolling me. I literally linked the Facebook to you. You said you tried to send it. I got no messages. Okay, you put it in a comment. All right. You didn't put it in any of my Facebook comments either. What are you talking about? Bro, why are you just straight trolling me at this point, music? Did you post a link on your Jesus Christ? So you clearly didn't send the video to my Facebook, nor did you post it in a comment, even after I linked you the correct Facebook. So, bro, you just messing with me at this point. This is called trolling. Yeah. Okay, music. Do you not know I literally linked the Facebook to you, dude, and you still didn't send anything? Like you just copy the link in a PM or put it under a post on Facebook. It's very straightforward. Look, here's a Facebook. I got to link it again. I had this spotter guy. Okay, there's my Facebook, right? You go to the Facebook and you can literally just post it under a comment, man. Right? You can go under the first comment right there. My good morning to my followers, and you can literally just post it under there, dude. It's very, 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 very easy. There we go. It's the Dave man. I found it. Never mind, I found it. So because I had some other posts there, it was a little slow. Okay, I'm gonna go watch it. Let's check out the arm snap. Oh Jesus Christ. um, so we got there in the end. Music. Do you really need me to tell you what he did wrong? I don't know if he broke his arm or he ripped his bicep or what he did, just at a glance. But I mean, this should be common sense. So you watched it, right? What do you think he did wrong? How about picking up a weight that's more than double his 1 rep max in each hand and trying to get it into position for a seated dumbbell press? This is just a fat, tiny guy who barely looks like he lifts, trying to do 40-kilogram dumbbells on a seated press. I mean, here's your dead giveaway. He's having had someone try to help him get dumbbells into position that are easily double any weight he has any business trying to even lift in that exercise, right? There's no way he's remotely strong enough. They're 40 kilos in each hand. And it's just, it's like a non-lifter. This just looks like a fat guy who's a little tubby with like a dad bod type, not even dad bod. He's just like a beer belly dude with a little bit of muscle, like he's been working out 3 months. I'm being a little mean there, but he's clearly a beginner. Like, this is not a seasoned lifter using horrible form to try to muscle 40-kilogram dumbbells into position. Do you know how big you have to be to rep those dumbbells on a seated overhead press? You got to be bigger than me, dude. And you see me rep out 3 plates on a bench, right? You understand how big you need to be to do that for a proper work set, right? And you got to be a pretty big dude to actually handle those dumbbells correctly. So it's a straight ego lifting. So straight ego lifting. Yeah. And this is a rule I give you for dumbbells. What's my rule for dumbbells on any dumbbell exercise? Any sort of dumbbell press. Doesn't matter whether it's flat, incline, overhead. What's the Jason rule? Everybody knows this. I've been saying it for 12 years. If you cannot get the dumbbells into position by yourself easily, you have no business pressing them. Right? Unassisted. If you can't get any sort of dumbbell press, if you cannot easily get the dumbbells into position and set them back down on the ground by yourself, you have no business pressing. Save the heavy weight for the barbell. There's a reason why we do it. I'm going to be right back. Let's ask your questions. I got to get coffee. All right. What's up, Rubio? All right, we're back. So even when I used to do dumbbell presses heavy, remember when I used to push press and do all the heavy overhead work when I was able to? You guys have seen me do up to maybe 30. They're standing and I clean them up. Okay. If you go look at any of the old footage of me doing that, I picked them up off the floor, cleaned them up to my shoulders, and did them standing. So if you can't just clean them into position like this, it's too heavy. Yeah, I tried to curl it up to the side. Like, dude, Sorry, that's just stupidity. Like, just sheer stupidity. I just can't. Oh. The 12-inch fall. Yeah, that doesn't happen if you're strong. Hey, music. What do you mean they have no broke problems? They clearly have bone problems. A strong femur for a fit, healthy person is not going to break from that. Not going to happen. Right? If you have good bone density, your bones don't break. I mean, look at stuff you've seen happen to me. Remember when I missed the J hooks? Remember when I was using my monolift with the camber wrist and it slipped out and I fell to the ground and it kind of fell on top of me? I had 560 pounds on the bar. Did I get hurt? No. I walked it off and finished my workout on camera. So she had bone problems then. She had weak bones, bro. That is a bone problem. So again, this is why we build our bones, so that we don't get brittle bones. Mom probably had some osteoporosis starting already. So that's why they get broke easy. This is why we follow good diets and why we strength train, so that we don't lose bone mineral density. You know, so your mom had a situation where her bones were getting brittle for some reason. So, right, build bone density, train correctly, eat correctly. You sort of soften the landing. Yeah, fair. But we got up and we walked it off, man, and I finished training, you know. Toast shots on salmon, but not cooked. This is fine. What? Bro, you're going to make me gag. I can't eat fish anyways without vomiting. Talking about eating raw fish. Don't eat raw fish. What's wrong with you? Why would you do this? Why would you eat raw fish? Let's talk about messing your gains up. What happens when you get parasites? Peppermint in the chat. What's up? Yeah, you need to cook it. You need to don't be eating raw fish or raw meat in general. You know, like some of these carnivores eating the raw meat. It's like, you know, you guys get worms. Stupidity. Yeah. Well, you like parasites is what you mean, peppermint. Also, Coach, I'm meeting a girl weekly to have fun. Last week I asked her, but she postponed. She asked me later, and we met. And this time I'm asking, should I do the first move or should I? My morning's going good, Max. Limitless. What do you mean, make the first move? It sounds like there's already been a first move. What are you talking about? Okay, if you're worried about looking desperate, then you're already screwed. You need to you're done with this one then. Next. Change the attitude for the next one. This already you done messed up. You're not wanting to look desperate. No, man, you should have just messaged her. No, bro. Being scared of looking desperate is a sign of desperation. You just gotta do. I'll do it now. Go message. Be like, "What's up? Hey, Sade, let me holler at you right quick." You know what I'm saying? According to carnivores, they are the healthiest, most athletic people on the planet. Man, do you see them in my comments, Ryan? Ryan, you got to see them in the comments on Facebook because I know you're on Facebook, bro. They'd be off the chart. They'd be off the hinges. My God. You see the one I posted from that Anya Vin carnivore chick? She's going on about electric cars and their EMF frequencies that disrupt your cells. It's not just transportation, it's transformation of your biology. Dude, they're so crazy. My God, the carnivores are crazy, crazy. It's the Illuminati trying to destroy the cells of your body with electric cars. Like, my God. I just can't. Hold on, let me link the thread, Ryan. You guys want to check this on that? Let me scroll down to it. I made too many posts. Here we go. I'm going to copy the link. Copy the link right there, guys. Jump in there, man, with them. I got the vegans and carnivores both defending it as optimal. Then all these people, man, it's the way we've eaten for. It's like you have no evidence of this. I deleted one of my posts. I don't want to argue with people about the stupidity of Ice Age either. Do you think that G and other signaling things are related to the neural link we have hooked up into the multiverse? It's very strange to me. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with all that. I know a decent amount about physics, music, and bones are very, very strong. And if we train correctly, they're very resistant to breaking. All right. Also, I don't know this girl I'm meeting for fun, if you know what I mean, but she always wants to grab a drink first. I told her peer pressure to do. You have any? Just tell her you don't drink, man. It's all good. So if she wants to drink, why don't you just drink a Diet Coke? Don't ever let anyone press you into drink. Even a girl who's throwing some stinky on your hang down. Just saying, bro. You know. Yeah, it is crazy. But we knew that technology was going to come. We knew the technology was going to come. So peppermint, I deleted my post. I have one person already arguing, it's documented history. You have a biology background. Carnivores always pull this nonsense of, well, what did people in Europe eat during the Ice Age? I'm like, they went extinct. They didn't. All right. Well, limitless. I guess you're going to have to decide where your ethics are there. I'm not going to let some chick pressure me into drinking just because, I'm taking her to Pound Town. I'm just saying, bro. Yeah. But no, actually, they went extinct. So the data I've seen shows that there was regional extinction. So northern and western Europe during the last glacial period, humanity had regional extinction. We didn't survive. There were no humans left, as far as we could tell. Down in like the Iberian Peninsula and Italy and stuff, that's where all the humans that survived the last glacial period were. So they pulled this nuts. Well, what did they eat? They had to have eaten meat. I'm like, they went extinct. They didn't. They all starved to death. And then they'll argue, it's documented where there were people like there. It's just like, you just can't argue with this stupidity. Like it's documented. Like, no, it's documented that we think they went completely extinct. There were no humans surviving in the northern half of Europe through the last glacial period. So, people bring up the Ice Age and they talk about, well, they must have all done this stuff at Carver. Do you like, did they not understand how few humans survived? Do they think there were big tribes of people all over the place? They're oblivious to the population bottleneck. Like the leading anthropologists think that our largest population, for around 100,000 years of that, it was like only 10,000 people. There weren't more than 10,000 humans alive at any given time on the entire planet during the worst part of the last glacial period. 10,000. That was the entire human race. Oh my God. Yeah. I say it's pretty catastrophic for us. It's fascinating. And they'll pull the same thing with the Inuits. It's like, because a few Inuits in a small population have managed to survive on a ketogenic type diet and not die, that it's somehow ideal. It's like, no, that just shows that forced to, you can survive. Doesn't mean you're going to thrive or be healthy, because the Inuits never thrived. They never had a big population. They never had a long lifespan. All of our fossil records show they were pretty unhealthy. Their health was arguably worse than standard American diet. It's crazy. Like, you can't, these people are so delusional. They will not look at reason or data. And I just can't. I mean, people literally over here thinking all these humans were surviving the Ice Age up there. Yeah, man, they were just hunting woolly mammoths and they were just fine. There were hundreds of them. No, there weren't. They died. They were all gone. Do I drink soda? I need you to be specific. Do I drink diet soda in social settings? Yes. I don't eat any refined sugar. Hey, Limitless, I don't understand the question. Amish people are not known for being what? That's just a really weird question. People acting like planet warming is a bad thing for years, better, more climates, cost on ground temperatures. What do you think about the new cane sugar? I don't know what that means either. Why would there be something special about Amish people's milk? Yeah, I just, what? What's special about their milk? Why would their milk be special? You do know raw milk has no benefits, by the way. It's been studied. Oh, God. Raw milk only has risks. There's no benefits. I mean, they aren't like deadlifting 500 like you, but they have. If I'm only deadlifting 500, we got a problem. Yeah, this one has sent me. Yeah. Well, probably because they do manual labor. they do a lot of manual labor, so they're going to be in a little better shape than the average sedentary person. I mean, but yeah. You build up to it, dude. It took me several years. It took me about 3 years to deadlift 500 pounds. I really shouldn't say this stuff like that though, because it's not good for my marketing. Because I market off of that bad genetics that everyone accuses me of. So the people need to hire me to coach them, even with my horrible genetics. I still hit a 405 squat in 18 months. This is how knowledgeable I am. My knowledge is that amazing, even as a beginner. I just intrinsically understood programming on a deep, sophisticated level. And even with my inferior genetics, I got to a 4-plate squat in 18 months. Discovery Channel used to make fake shows about the Amish. Well, limitless, you build up to it. You build muscle, you build strength. Consistency. You train for years and years and years consistently. So if you find some fake Amish, is this even a topic? I will try. I'm doing like 100 kilograms bench, but then I hurt my shoulder. How did you hurt your shoulder? Do you follow my advice on how to bench press? I have numerous videos on how to not have shoulder problems at all benching. Is in business with a lot of Amish. There's no Amish anywhere near me, so I don't have this situation. They're not a thing here. Yeah. Given the distance, so if someone brings up the Amish to me, they might as well be talking about the Scottish or the people in the Philippines or whatever. They're so far away. Like there's no Amish people within 1,000 miles of me. So to me, focus on your shoulders. So I focus. That's not what focus on shoulders means. It just means train them hard. Oh man. Yeah. You should probably train everything pretty even. There we go. Listening to old strap on. Yep. You guys got to be careful listening to these people. Right? Did strap on tell you to train your shoulders 5 times a week? I can't see him giving that advice. Right? He just copied exactly. I mean, look at his first book. He quoted me all the way through it. And then had all his bad advice in there too. He said, look at wild characters, see how big their shoulders are. Wow. That bench looks smooth, Ryan, by the way. Ryan just sent me his lifts from this morning. If I wrote a book on fitness, I would write about Coach. Imitation is the highest form of flattery, right? I think Nate going to rebrand into a Getting Fit channel. Who's Nate? I don't know who Nate is. Oh, that Nate, your friend Nate. Anyway, I did his bear mode training. I looked ridiculous and ended up hurting my shoulder. Right. Man. Cool. Yeah, he should do fitness, man. He should do fitness and give coach credit. Like, yeah, you guys gotta quit imitating these people, man. Limitless. So you just need to do proper training. Go do some full body 3 day a week, build a base, right? And be good. It's all Ryan does. Ryan's in here. I got Ryan 3 day a week, full body. We do singles on the big three. He does weighted dips, weighted chins, safety bar squats, front squats, burst hypers. Pretty much all he does. Alpha Destiny's good. You want to get right. Don't train your legs, guys, because if you're a short guy, they're going to look disgusting. So I like to do above the knee rack pulls with straps. And break all the bars in the gym. And wear my lift shoes. He got caught with those lift shoes. Yeah, he went vegan now too. I mean, Jesus Christ. I can't. Why'd he go vegan? Can building big adductors potentially slow you down? No, Benjamin. Hey, Benjamin, stop making excuses not to squat heavy. Benjamin, for you, because I know we've had enough conversations, stop making excuses to not squat heavy. That is an excuse. You're looking for one. You are literally making stuff up. You are literally making up stuff to give yourself an excuse not to squat heavy. That's not interested. You literally just made that up. So, all right, Benjamin. So I'll give you a little bit of anecdote then. Squats build adductors, right? Heavy squats will build big adductors. Olympic level sprinters are usually pretty fast. Would you agree that on average, sprinters who make it to the Olympics are reasonably fast? Is that a fair statement? So I'm about to go somewhere with this. Okay. Would you say that that's a fair statement? They're reasonably fast. They're not particularly slow if they make it to the Olympics as a sprinter. It's the average Olympic sprinter squat. How much did Ben Johnson squat when he was winning all those gold medals in sprinting? Any idea? About 600 pounds. Ben Johnson was a 600-pound squatter. 600 pounds. Did the big adductors he built from squatting 600 pounds slow him down? Did it prevent him from winning gold medals in the Olympics as a sprinter? Because it was documented. So, literally one of the fastest human beings in documented history at the Olympic level was a 600-pound squatter. If big adductors slowed you down, how is it possible that he won? So you're saying he would have been faster had he not done squats and built his adductors. He would have been even faster. He'd have gone to double gold on top of his gold. Like, think of the absurdity of this. Right? So when you make this statement, from my perspective, it sounds like you literally just made up out of nowhere an excuse to avoid squatting heavy. That's how I'm interpreting it. I think in the back of your mind, that's where you came up with it, at least subconsciously. Coach, am I just meant to starve on a 2,000 calorie? I don't know what's up with your turnover. Coach, the fastest young runner in the world, gout is built like, I don't know. I'll cause you to start drinking about, what? To start drinking? You mean I stopped drinking over 6 years ago? 0.5 kilograms a week is a fair amount. That's a fair amount of weight loss. You're just a smaller dude. Kids watch too much Dragon Ball Z and anime in general. Muscle is never a liability in sports except maybe extreme long distance running. Right. Exactly. Hey, Music, I don't think you're familiar with my history with that question. I stopped drinking almost 7 years ago. I didn't start drinking 8 years ago. I started drinking when I was 5 years old. All right. I'm Slavic, dude. They're giving us beer as kids. What are you talking about? All right. Yeah, only for long distance running. Yeah. Do back extensions work the abductors out? Probably not. No, I can understand a little bit of Czech. Who's the Slav? All right. Yeah. No breakdown. Okay. Doesn't mean I read it. So February the 18th, this coming February, will be 7 years. 7 years. I'm going to start changing these answers to just no. I have no plans for my personal life at all. I don't do anything ever. I think that's a much easier reply. I have no personal plans ever the rest of my life. Benjamin, I don't allow alcohol in my home. I find that question, to be fair, man, that question is kind of offensive. I'm not easily offended, but think about that question. Someone who's made the choice to be sober and just told you their exact day, plan on never drinking again, not one drop. I mean, think about what you just asked. Do you do that to people in real life? I'm going to ask a serious question, Benjamin. But I mean, this is a learning moment for you. Do you really do that to people in real life off the internet? Like if you meet someone who's like, yeah, dude, I've been sober for 3 years. Would you ask them that? Like in person? It's a serious question. Like, would you do that to somebody? Would you do that as a coworker? Would you do that at your job? You'd probably get fired, by the way. You're going to be down there in human resources, probably getting written up or fired if you did that, by the way. So this is a learning moment for you to think about. You could lose your job over something like that. Someone's over there sober, they've stopped drinking, for you to do that and be like, because then it's peer pressure. Like you could lose your job over that. So just an FYI. That's a big deal, dude. You'll definitely lose friends that way. Because anyone who's focusing on their sobriety is going to cut you out of their circle at that point. They're not going to want to be around you. They have to cut you out. So just an FYI. But that is peer pressure. Think about the question. You're never you're going to stay sober forever? That's called peer pressure. right? Right. So if you end up eating something cooked with wine like chicken marsala, would you be worried it would break your sobriety? Probably not, because the alcohol's been cooked out. Yeah. But no. So, but back over to the point. I'm not angry. Like, I didn't ban him or anything. Just be aware of the situation that could be. Yeah. I don't it bad to ask most people. People don't know what alcohol is what. But no, the alcohol is cooked out at that point. Yeah. It would be important to know if a former alcoholic is clean for sober people, right? You know. So, but no, Benjamin. To your point, I absolutely hate alcohol. I don't want to be around it. I don't allow alcohol in my home. I have a strict policy. Would you consume wine? No, absolutely not. But I don't allow alcohol inside my house. I'm pretty strict on that. No review. I'm gonna have to say no in that case. Like, I completely abstain. Right? Exactly. Yeah. No, I literally hate alcohol at this point. Like, I actually hate it. Like, I don't want to see people drink. I don't want it around me. I don't want to be around people drinking. I don't allow it in my home at this point. I do not want to be around it. Um, and I used to be okay with it. I used to be able to have a Diet Coke in a social setting. I'm at a point now with it where I don't even want to be around it at all. I don't want to be in a room with someone drinking. I just don't. Um, uh, and it's not for my temptation. Like, I've been fine with the temptation. I'm not tempted to drink. I'm so disgusted with it at this point. I don't even want to see it. You know. No, I don't have many friends who don't drink. I have some. So, yeah. Right. Hey, music. I don't want to go into all this stuff again. I mean, I made a post on it recently again. That'll save me a lot of trouble. If I can find it. There we go. So, music. There you go. Read that. Read that long status. That will explain it. The UK. You guys drink more than we do. I spent 3 years there. Um, so, right. So, music. Read that link, that status, and that will break it down. Unless you would like me to read it out. I'll be happy to. So, yeah, I'll read it out. Why do I push such a strong anti alcohol message? It's not just because I chose to become sober over 6 years ago or even the overwhelming research showing the health issues. I've personally witnessed massive amounts of death and suffering due to alcohol. I've lost two friends to drunk drivers. One of them was still alive while the vehicle burned with him trapped inside. My own vehicle was being borrowed by a loved one and was completely destroyed by a drunk driver recently. Multiple people close to me have suffered major injuries by drunk drivers that required hospitalization and surgery. Two different men I have known and were previous with became abusive towards their romantic partners while intoxicated, who were not violent men while sober. And like one of them beat the holy hell out of his girlfriends. I've known multiple women who had partners who were abusive when they drank. I've seen men and women both cheat on their spouses while intoxicated. I've known two people who accidentally shot themselves under the influence that luckily survived. I know one who did it intentionally while intoxicated and didn't survive. I've seen countless other cases of reckless behavior and violence while under the influence of alcohol. To me, this horrific poison of the body, mind, and soul has no place in our society, and I would like nothing more than to see it go away forever. That's sums it up for you. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much my take. Yeah, the accidents, the death, the carnage. Um, Music. Do you want my real hardcore answer? I think that the manufacturer should be publicly executed. I don't mean treat it like, oh, the user, the addict gets punished. No, I think we should pass a law and make it a death penalty to manufacture it. Capital offense. Make me God, Emperor of mankind, will simply execute all the business owners and CEOs of the alcohol companies if they don't close their business. Prohibition, the way they did it before, doesn't work. It's silly. You start taking them out, people will stop taking the risk to make it. Like if they know they're going to die for it, charge them with crimes against humanity. You know, the only person I've ever met who made moonshine was a pedophile. Literally. Why so black? Hey, music, I broke down. Why? You know. So yeah. Now, I'm not going to be made God Emperor of mankind, so this will never happen. So people can be offended at my position. I'm allowed to have my position on it. I'm never going to be ruler of the human race. I'm never going to be made the emperor of mankind. So it's not like it's a real concern. But that's how I feel about it. That's simply how I feel about it at this point. So, the world would literally be a better place. Right? One of them being balancing the budget, right? We have to balance our budget. Why can't the government? No. You know. Now, Alan, we come back over to people fermenting their spirits at home. Okay. So their addiction is requiring them to do that. I think we'll see some Darwinism, you know. enough people go blind or die from the poisoning of them doing it wrong, that'll resolve that problem. It's like, you see the point there? I mean, Rogue, Titan, whatever. I mean, Rogue isn't that expensive, guys. Titan's decent for budget stuff, though. I still would never buy a true budget barbell. Don't do budget barbells. That's the main thing. Your main bars need to be good bars, at least like a Texas Power Bar. Right. Let's come back over to the point, Benjamin. So we have stuff that causes horrific amounts of death and suffering. And so, okay, you see the point? So we outlaw it, and people say, but then people will make it at home and hurt themselves. Well, I think this is a solution. They'll learn real quick. Enough of them have problems with it. People will be like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be brewing this at home. My cousin went blind or died from it. Yeah, let's not do this anymore. There you go. Problem solved. We don't make it legal because of that. That's not a good reason. All right. Smoking is pretty bad, but it does not the same level. We could argue on the health end, but think about the death toll. Okay. So music, let's think about this. Why do we have publicity about AR-15s? Literally people screaming to ban something that doesn't kill that many people, and many of them are legal killing, self-defense. Okay. Compare that to drunk drivers in the US, right? Take all the homicides done with rifles in the US, right? It gets all over the news. Oh, we're going to do that, right? Compare that to drunk driving. Down here versus way up here. Drunk drivers kill over 10,000 people in the US every year. That's not even going into the injuries. Let's not even talk about the injuries, because most people hit by drunk drivers don't die. Right? Think about that number alone. They literally kill over 10,000 Americans a year. I'm just saying. No, I have no interest in moving to New Jersey. Yeah, that's not a good enough reason for me to move to a different city. Hey, music, that's a silly hypothetical. Because it's not going to happen. It wouldn't be alcohol anymore. Right? Because that's a big part of the problem. The violence, the accidents. The violence is a big end too. Right? And no one would drink it. If they weren't getting intoxicated, meaning the intoxication is what causes the accidents, people wouldn't drink it if it had no effect. And those who use guns to commit crimes are often on drugs, including alcohol. Yeah, absolutely. Most gun deaths are suicide. 70% of gun deaths in the US are suicide. How many of them are drinking? Everyone I know who committed suicide was drinking. Yeah. But music, people wouldn't drink it if they weren't intoxicated. Yeah, So it's a silly hypothetical. So you're like, if people didn't get intoxicated, they wouldn't drink. They didn't get a buzz from it or the brain poisoning, because it makes you intoxicated because it's a poison. That's what the intoxication effect that you get is, because it's a poison to your brain cells. That's what makes you get drunk off of it. And I'm not making that up as someone who's anti-alcohol. That is literally the biological reason. There's a reason it makes you feel tipsy and sluggish and a little loose and, and eventually drunk. It's because of the poison to your brain cells. Like, and I'm dead serious. I'm like not kidding or messing with you or even being anti-alcohol saying that. That is why you get intoxicated. Yeah. Yeah. Happy to promote a party lifestyle, right? Oh man. Right. Yeah, people don't want to think about morality. Most people don't drive, drink. You know. I don't like to be out at night either myself. Max was a heavy drinker and she would abuse me while she was on it. I had an ex who got violent when she drank. I'm not going to go into who or specifics, but yeah. I've had an ex who was violent when she drank. I mean, I'm big enough and strong enough that she didn't hurt me. I was able to restrain her, but still. Oh, I just saw it. I did. I hit the like button on it. Appreciate it, Lux. I did hit the little like thumb up on it. But I appreciate it, man. Yeah, no, I had one. I had to physically restrain her several times when she was drunk because she would start punching me. You just have to hold her down until she calmed down. Be chill about it. Try to diffuse the situation. Or just leave the room. Bro, you got a woman who's really angry and you turn to walk away to avoid a conflict, man, and they get pissed. I totally did like the super chat. What are you talking about? Are you done in it? Yeah. Yeah, we totally did. But it's okay, Jason. I love you. I'm happy you're sober and having a drink. Good 5 years. There you go, man. That's the way to be, dude. Sobriety is the way. Yeah, no, the same one that the one who was abusive, like when she would get angry. I don't do the yelling, screaming, fighting. I don't do that. I'm just gonna walk away till they calm down. And she knew that. Like, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm not gonna stand here and scream back and forth. I'm not doing this. But man, you turned to walk away to leave the room. Why you stay in the relationship? Good question, music. Why didn't stay in the relationship? But this is a long, long time ago too. Sound like your strong views on alcohol are heavily influenced by your own personal experiences. Of course they are, Benjamin. And why wouldn't they be? Right? It doesn't sound like this just a fact. Absolutely a fact. I've had horrific, large amounts of negative personal experience. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so that extra, like, I'd go to leave him, like, look, I'm gonna go take a walk and I'm gonna come back when you're calm. You go to walk out the door. It's like be throwing stuff and screaming, "Come back here, you effing pussy!" Blaha, you turn around and you face me like a man. Come back here, you pussy. It's like, I'm gonna go walk away. I'm gonna come back when you're calm. I'm not doing this, and we will have a discussion. But yeah, come back here, you pussy. Yeah, I'm not gonna stand there and argue. I'm not gonna scream and yell. I'm not doing this. I'm gonna go walk away, and I'm gonna come back when you're calm. Well, Lux, here's the problem. You're Christian. therein lay the problem at that point. I tried to work it out. So, you know. So, you know, what do you do? You know, you try to make your marriages work the best you can. Try to pick better ones in the future. You know, some do. The ones who want to fight and yell, that's exactly, they don't want resolutions. What about the Eastern view on drinking? They're much more casual. I don't think that's necessarily true, Max. I've seen people from Asian cultures who get drunk also. No, I don't think that's true at all. There's an alcoholism problem all through Asia also. Are we going to pretend it's less addictive to them? Them toxic ones. I know, Ryan. Yep. I saw a whole lady do a psychology breakdown on why why toxic women are better in bed. Like, she broke it down. It's like, oh my God. Thought it was interesting. I saw a reel on it a few weeks back. Literally, this woman explained why quote unquote toxic women are great in bed. Yeah. Oh, so yeah. Music. I'm not going to discuss my personal life because I don't have a personal life, but I am pro marriage. So we drink lifetimes more than people in Asia, but they still have an alcoholism problem. Yeah. Thankfully, the one I'm with, shit. I appreciate the super chat looks. I mean, some of the toxic ones, the sex is ridiculous. It's a reason we stay with them sometimes. That's the problem, right? Oh. I'll message you, Ryan. I sent you a message, Ryan. I'm part Asian ethnic. All right. Yeah, she looks good and is a freak. Yeah, you're in trouble. Going to Tokyo's downing beers at 8 a.m. on a public train. All right. All right. Well, Brian, see that, and Lux is going to pray for you. Yeah, the UK definitely has a even larger drinking problem than in the US. Specific type of alcohol. I mean, alcohol itself is alcohol. I don't know that one delivery system is worse than another. Yeah, the sun is coming up. They do drink even more in the UK than here. Like, I will note that. I don't have a preference on preachers. Well, they couldn't live without it because they're alcoholics, and therein lay the problem. Now, the practical solution is a social push away from it, right? I mean, I would love my solution as God, Emperor of mankind, but we know that's not going to happen, right? We know that's not going to happen. Um, you know, but the solution, I think, is a social push. We need more people up there talking bad about it and pushing back. Like people like me. Like if more and more people were simply vocal about it, we make a social push away from it. Like, so think about the power that influencers have online. So if more people who have influence over their followings, political leaders, social media influencers, everybody starts making a social push against alcohol, people will drink less. Like this is how you change it. So that's one reason I make my posts and I'm vocal about it, because make a social push in the other direction, right? I didn't go through real alcohol withdrawals actually. I'm okay not drinking. I just can't stop once I start. I cannot stop at a single drink. I just can't do it. I actually do just fine not drinking. Stopping was easy. I don't know that I'm ever going to bench a 405. No, there are no moderators in here. There's no mods on this channel. There's no mods. Oh. Yeah, we have no mods in here, Rose. Coach is the mod. All right, guys, I think it's about time to wind this down. I'll do probably another one of these before breakfast. Love you guys, and we're out.